What's up, guys? If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's completely free. Not only is it free, but there are also creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Also, they'll be able to distribute your podcast for you on all the famous platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. If you guys are creatives and want to get after it, I highly suggest using Anchor. Fresh and minty.
And we're starting in a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, you know, be up in the stew. Yeah, acting all stew. Hey.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 2 a.m. podcast. We got Logan.
Welcome back. This is Big Z, aka Zaid.
And howdy, and this is Saeed.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, partner.
How's it going, brother?
I'm gonna try to come up with something new every freaking episode, dude.
I tell you what, we've been through a couple hectic days.
We've had some late nights here at the new stew.
Ooh,
I'm so excited to be here.
Yes,
I'm so excited to just be in here.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Painted all the walls. I mean, when we walked in here, it was so. No offense to the previous guy that was here.
Let's paint them a picture.
All offense.
How do we put this politely? It was ugly as shit.
Imagine a blue highlighter of a wall, right?
Yeah.
And you're just blinded and you can't see anything. It's just, I don't know.
And the door.
I hated Zaid and Logan and myself.
What was the weirdest thing to me was that the wall that was actually painted, and including the door, weirdly enough, we're in an all gray studio with a neon blue door from the previous tenant. But like,
this color is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, which you all see soon. We're gonna be on YouTube soon enough. That's for sure. Around the corner. We need to finish building this.
All we're gonna say is definitely a darker, less aggressive color.
Yeah, trying to create a place of relaxation.
Yes.
A serene environment.
AKA ASMR for your eyes.
Yes.
Ooh, ASMR. Asthma for your eyes.
Asthma.
I know how much you guys like ASMR. So stay tuned.
Oh, we're breaking back into the ASMR. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Wait.
Oh, we have some goodies for the ASMR.
We actually have props, so everybody listen. Oh, yeah. Wow. Are you not relaxed?
Auditory ecstasy.
Why do I feel like one of the worst ways to get somebody to relax is to tell them to relax? And I do that all the time. I'm the biggest hypocrite when it comes to that. Dude. But I'm just like, dude, you just need to relax. And I'm like,
it's
not
counterintuitive.
Anything that pisses you off, dude.
Yeah, it's not helpful whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, it's counterintuitive.
You think somebody that's frantic is going to just calm down if you say calm down? Somebody's freaking out. They're like, oh my God, I've got like loans, and I've got bills to pay, and dude, just relax. Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. It's all work. No, fuck that.
So how would you approach the situation?
I don't know. Just try to face the reality of the facts of what it is and how to move on from there.
People don't know how to deal with their emotions. They don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Well, what do you want from me, man? I'm not a licensed therapist.
I think I'd just put a nice smile on my face and just stare at them for a good minute.
Stare at what? The problems?
No, stare at the other person.
That's very calming. You're emotionless. Deadpan stare.
Yeah. Now that I think about it,
eyeing me down.
I don't think I've ever seen Zaid like pissed off.
Oh, really? Oh, come on.
Have you seen me pissed off?
On this podcast, you've gotten pissed off.
No, that's not me pissed off.
That's not him pissed off. No, like...
I'll say this. I've never seen Zaid angry.
Can watch me play a soccer game. I'll get angry.
Angry is different from pissed off, I feel. Like, you can get pissed off. Like, that's a very diet version of being angry.
Yeah.
Per se. So, like, if you're pissed off, that can just be in conversation when you're mocking something that, like, actually kind of annoys you. And you're just going on. Like, you're pissed off about it. But you're not angry at it, per se. It's just something to complain about.
We should test his limits, honestly.
Please do. I'm usually quiet and reserved when I'm angry.
What gets Zaid angry? Our next segment.
Oh, my God. Just it goes goes against all his beliefs all of a sudden.
So okay, let's get the easiest one out of the way. Somebody is kicking a puppy.
Okay.
Pissed off or angry?
Pissed off.
That was a huge pause. But
You had to think about that for a minute.
Wait, because is there a difference between pissed off and angry?
Yeah, 'cause
Isn't it the same thing?
We just established the difference between
No,
pissed
no,
off
no.
and
Yeah,
angry.
You established
anger's
it.
infused more with frustration, I think, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Like, but pissed off is just...
I feel like you can jokingly be pissed off, but it's hard to be jokingly angry. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think angry is the more connection to your heart.
I feel like there's more. I feel like anger is a more sincere of an emotion rather than pissed off.
Yeah.
So when somebody's joking around, they're like, "I was just joking." When they're pretending to be angry, I think it's more of they were joking to be pissed off.
OG emotion.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I guarantee you, a majority of people would disagree with me on that.
The passive aggressive types piss me off the most.
That's such a Zayd thing to say.
You know?
But it's true.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried to change that, but I've been passive aggressive pretty much my entire life, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I try to just not hurt anybody. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, I took it too far, and I'd be like, dude, I'm just kidding, bro.
I'm just kidding.
Just
Sorry.
a prank, bro.
Yeah.
Why you
Even
gotta
though I
get so
had every
angry?
right to just tell him off, but
You have to pick your moments.
Are we?
Yeah.
Did we move past? Sorry, because I said it's a prank, bro, and it got me thinking. Are we past the whole generation of like prank YouTubers, or is that still like a big thing going on?
it's still a big thing.
It's
dude.
still a big
Is it?
thing.
Is it as
Huge.
big as it was though? I don't think, maybe.
well, there was definitely a lot more people back then trying to start one. But
Yeah,
now
there was
it's
a
just
whole
basically
wave.
the big people are just the big people.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
But I feel like didn't the big prank guys like kind of move on to other content?
Ooh.
Like
Well,
didn't-
naturally you have to because you can't keep doing the same thing forever.
Yeah.
You have to change something up.
You
Oh,
grow
you
your
should-
channel and you start making other fake videos.
Then you go to like vlogs and for some reason these
Yeah.
people go to vlogs.
I was about to say, didn't Roman Atwood, is he doing prank videos still, or is he doing like family vlog
He's
stuff?
doing more family vlogs now.
That's what I thought.
Which is
And so
crazy.
isn't Logan Paul also doing vlog stuff now?
Yeah, I mean, I think Logan Paul was also doing vlogs, right?
He was
Before?
doing vlogs, but they were like prank videos disguised as vlogs, I feel. I mean,
so-
I'm not an expert on Logan Paul's
Aiming towards
discography.
kids. Huh?
I don't think any of us are. Discography.
Yeah, my discography of prank vlogs.
Oh my god, dude. You know, someone should really break into the Google corporate building, go to the server room and just unplug all of Logan Paul's crap. Dude, discography gone.
Deleted.
Deleted, bro.
You think he has his own server room? Or at least a specific server?
Yeah, of course.
If he
I'm
was
pretty
smart,
probably
he
has
would.
his
Like,
own
how much
port.
4K content do you think he
I don't
has
know.
on that platform? It's probably 1080p, like just HD standard.
dude.
Yeah.
4K is kind of ridiculous, but I mean, like, we're getting into the 60 FPS frame
Yeah.
range now. This is getting to be like a surprisingly nerdy chat, but
That would be
but
fun.
like it's like the 1080p and the 60 FPS, so it's like HD and it looks really like overly smooth.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even look like real life. It's so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. I see that in like highlight videos of sports.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I feel like for slow motion, it's obviously necessary and the frame rate will go up. It's like 1,000 frames per second or
Yeah.
whatever. But for like normal video, I don't think I'm a big fan of the 60.
Dude, I'm not
FPS
either.
kinda range. It's kind of uncomfortable
Yeah,
to watch.
and actually, I'm glad you bring this up because there's a lot of things that piss me off in this world.
Oh, here we go.
Please do mention some of them.
And some of them are just like, they won't make sense to a lot of people, but
Mm-hmm.
to me it does. All right, so, for example, you buy a brand new TV. It's 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
All TVs are at least 120 hertz at this point.
Yeah.
So the image is very smooth. Now, if you shoot film, it's usually in 23.98 frames per second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you pop on that 4K movie, and then all of a sudden, it's too smooth to watch. And I'm just like, bro,
Too
change your
smooth
goddamn
to
settings.
watch.
You know what I mean? Like, change it to movie settings. Like, we're not watching cable TV.
Wait, what do you mean too smooth to watch?
So, for example, 24 frames per second
Mm-hmm.
for a moving video records 24 frames per second, right? So 60 frames per second. Imagine how much more motion is in there now.
Yeah.
That's more than double 24.
Yeah.
Let me give you.
So
Sorry.
if I were to slow down 24 frames per second, it would look very choppy and just unnatural.
Mm.
But if I were to slow down 60 frames per second, it would look more like 24. but very smooth 24.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And another way to think about it is look at my arm move really quick. Kind of looks like a blur. Sorry for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have video, but for those that are listening, I just raised my arm up in the air really quick. Now, did it look like you could see my arm for the entirety of that, or did it look kind of blurry?
Blurry.
Okay, so we kind of process like, you know,
I think 25 frames.
roughly, it's actually close to the 23 to 24 range.
Yeah.
Like you were saying earlier, that's how we process like visual stimuli in a way that, you know, makes sense for our brain. So when we do the 60 FPS and we see it on a screen, instead of seeing this motion blur, you just see the full arm going up like this.
Yeah. So it looks very unnatural and unpleasing to the eye.
Yes.
So next time you watch a movie, I don't know who has a TV, but just like really pay attention to how the movie, like when the camera's panning, for example, if there's blur or not. You know what I mean?
Another really big telltale is if there's a vehicle moving in the back. It'll just look like one continuous thing moving rather than like a blur of a car kind of going by.
And then cool thing about film real quick. Basically everything down from audio to video and all that stuff is basically scientifically equivalent to how we view it in real life, but with like minor changes. Like for example, Logan said our naked eye views things at like 23 to 25 range, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So basically we chose 23.98 because it's probably either less or more than that. So it's a slight change, so it makes it feel abnormal.
Yeah, it makes it feel normal.
Exactly.
Perception
and then the
is so
offset
crazy.
of the audio is actually a thing too. It's milliseconds, but
And it's
that's
weird.
what makes it. Yeah, that's what makes it look like a movie.
That's fascinating. Isn't perception a crazy thing?
It is,
It's very faulty too.
dude. It's
what a
all
lot
well
of people
thought
forget.
about. Yeah,
Memory's
It's
very
like somebody
faulty.
thought about these things.
yeah, dude.
It's like somebody put in the time like to make it look like a normal thing. That's wild.
Yo, is it just me or is it hot in here?
Oh, dude, of course it's hot in here.
Yeah.
But that's just the stew. We need to figure out this AC.
Yes, situation.
We need to get some plants in here to like
Yes.
filter the air.
I'm Middle Eastern, and as you are too,
Yes.
so I'm not that hot.
Oh no, I'm fine. I mean, it is hot in here. Like I'm not gonna start sweating anytime soon.
Yeah,
It's humid.
we're just letting you guys know because it's gonna be a 4-hour episode.
That's. We'll let you know when the sweat starts rolling.
About to go on a marathon.
It's currently 3 a.m.
Welcome to the.
Just wiping salt off my face, dude.
I can't wait for the day where we actually do record at 2 a.m.
Yeah, dude. Welcome back.
Welcome to the 2 a.m. studio sauna. It's an interesting hybrid of the two theories brought together. We think that if our guests are in a hotter climate, they're more inclined to give us more, thoughtful answers that result in more.
Where'd you connect those dots?
No
No.
dots. There were no dots to connect. I'm just saying.
Oh
Yeah.
god. Yeah.
Yeah. So Zayd, why do you only drink water out of glass bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your reasoning for that? Obviously I can imagine it's probably the BPA thing, but is there something deeper than that?
Aesthetic.
Is there an innate fear, or do you just want to be seen as a guy that's drinking alcohol in public and it's just water?
There actually is something much deeper to it.
All right. Enlighten us.
First of all, the main reason is because plastic does leach into water. Water does have a memory too. A lot of people don't think about that, but it does actually have a memory.
I'm sorry. Elaborate. What do you mean water has a memory?
As in, like, you can store the information, like, depending on the environment it's in, the health of the water, so to speak, varies. So running water from a pristine mountain spring or something like that is going to be much different than water processed with machinery and in plastic bottles and all of that shit. And this guy's just fucking laughing
No.
at me.
Okay. Dude, Logan, you can laugh, but like this guy.
I don't have all the information
Yeah.
on hand, but trust me when I say it's valid.
No.
It's not pseudoscience.
Yeah, this is what I'm laughing at, is that you said water has memory. I'm still trying to get
There's an actual
explanation
book
for
on
that.
it. There's an actual book on it.
On water having memory.
Water having memory.
Okay.
You can search it up.
So let's start at the foundation of what memory is.
Okay.
So memory is just stored information within your brain cells, and then in order to access that so that it's useful for your body, your brain fires the synapses, which all connect and kind of make like a sequence, or in a way it's like it's like a programmed message where it's like, oh, I want to recall this memory. I'm trying to think about it in like terms of a computer. I want to recall this memory. So this sequence needs to fire, and like all of these exact pathways need to light up in order for me to access the information I want to use for your brain, right?
Yes.
And that's how memory works for pretty much everything that has memory, like a brain of some sort. For instance, like a dog. Like a dog, when you call its name, it's like, oh, I can't speak English, but I know when I hear that sound, for example, like, Lucky, come here. Like when it hears the Lucky, it's like, oh, that's what they refer to me as. So it comes out, it remembered that. So when you say water has memory, yet it has no brain, no synapses, no brain cells, no network technically whatsoever in order to house memories, what do you mean by water has memory?
Can I substitute memory for storage system of information?
Define storage system.
I can't define that for you. I honestly can't.
Now, if you wanted to say that bacteria gets attached to the actual water molecules themselves that, you know, form enough to be a specific substance, in this instance water, and the way it remembers is by latching, or is by those bacteria latching on to that mass of water, I could get behind that. I don't know if you could call it memory though.
I don't know if I could call it memory. It's just...
You could also filter the water to get all that bad stuff out of it, and then it doesn't remember.
I will absolutely refer you to that book, and you will have your mind blown.
I mean, I can kind of picture what he's talking about.
No, I get what he's talking about. I just don't think memory is the right word.
Kind of in much the same way that, like, you have genetic memory. Or, like, there are certain things encoded within your genes.
Yeah, like memory cells, for example.
Yeah, but water doesn't have memory cells. It's hydrogen and oxygen.
Okay, but I guess...
Point is, I don't want to drink...
The way I'm picturing it is that there's an expiration date, depending on the environment it's in, and then that it's not as beneficial to you as...
There are things much deeper than... It's much deeper than the surface level. It's a bit esoteric.
Actually, sorry, he said something that I wanted to point out really quickly, which ties into something that you're saying. So you said water has an expiration date?
Yeah.
So water really doesn't have much of an expiration date. The main reason why in plastic bottles they put one on there is because the plastic itself will actually start to break down and get into the water, which is why glass bottles are so important.
Yes.
And also it's any added minerals or other stuff that they might put in there that usually goes bad after a certain period of time as well.
I don't know what it is, but like, for example, this kind of relates, but if you were to put any drink, for example, in a tin cup, it tastes different than a glass cup.
Oh, 100%.
It does, yeah.
A glass cup tastes different than a foam, and then foam tastes different than plastic.
Like, if you tell me that a Coke out of a can tastes the same or tastes the same as a Coke out of a glass, or even a soda fountain, get out of here. That's like not even the same shit.
I mean, I know us. We're always paying extra to get that glass bottle, dude.
Oh, but it's so worth it unless you get the Mexican Coke.
You know what's really grody?
That's the good stuff.
People drinking out of public drinking fountains.
Oh.
That is the most disgusting
Dude, have you ever seen one that's like molded?
Even better. Have you ever seen somebody put their mouth over the faucet?
Oh, God.
What are you trying to deep throat that? Jesus.
I swear to God, I saw that in middle school.
What?
And I've had a phobia of public fountains ever since. It's a very irrational...
Full on, like, complete, like, mouth over faucet.
Just like, over the top of it.
You want to hear something crazy? In Egypt, on pretty much every corner, they have like for like homeless people and things like that, people of poor nature, I guess. They have on every corner a water fridge, and it's just straight tap, and then they have a tin cup. It's kind of like a mug, and then it's chained onto the machine, and people just drink out of that.
Really?
I swear.
I've never seen that in Jordan. Is that only Egypt?
I mean, Egypt. It's just government provided, I guess.
Wow.
But
sorry, say your thing.
It's beyond like disgusting. Like just coming from Cali straight to fucking
Dude,
Egypt,
I'm sure it is.
You're like, damn, I'm thirsty, but damn, dude.
You know what was when I was over in Paris? You know, something that I saw that I thought was really cool. They had these water fountains that it wasn't like ones we have in America. They just shoot a straight stream like from the top going down. It's not like where it shoots out of a little hook faucet thing.
Yeah.
But it's like It'll just rain down from the top like it's essentially just pouring down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these things have been there, if I remember correctly, for like hundreds or thousands of years. People have used these like fountains.
Whoa.
Yeah, like people just go up and refill their water bottles in it. Like it's totally fine.
Well,
And I'm like, those pipes got to be old as shit and rusted and have like so much bad stuff in it. But it's like,
Yeah.
nobody's dying. Everybody's fine.
I mean, that's the cool thing about water, though, right?
What?
I mean, you can kind of just add one thing at the end of it that will filter out everything bad, and then
That's the
it'll
thing,
just
like,
be, like good at best. You know what I mean?
I don't think. Well, I'm pretty sure that they filter it before it gets out there. I was just talking about any contaminants it picks up, like
Yeah.
the pipes.
Oh, the
on way
pipes,
there.
yeah, because it is very old.
That city's
Yeah.
fucking old, dude. None of the buildings make sense, like in terms of like modern proportions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a good trip, but it was cool. I
Like,
liked it.
you know, I'm not perfect with it. I'm not. I try not to be a crazy guy when it comes to my health, but like every once in a while, I'll drink out of a normal plastic bottle.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna die from that, okay? But over the long term, over the course of my life, I want to make sure that most of my water is
Yeah.
coming from, you know, a good source.
Do you shower with a glass tub, or dude?
I actually do have a shower filter.
Oh, damn.
I actually do have a shower
Is
filter.
it made out of glass?
Not gonna lie. I can respect that though. A shower filter, I can get behind that. Like especially where I live, they just found like 14 carcinogens in the water supply that have
Oh,
been there
shoot.
for years.
Yeah.
And I guess they didn't even like necessarily have to filter them out, but they were in there anyways. It's super dangerous. Like the water coming out of my faucet is like milky white.
What the?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's weird. Like for my sink, it's like that. When
Yeah.
you turn the heat up, it gets milky white and it'll stay that way for minutes.
Yeah.
afterwards.
Interesting.
Yeah, and my parents are like, it's just what did they say it was? They said it was like either the calcium, or they honestly thought it was the what's it called? They thought it was like carbonation.
Yeah,
And
it
I'm
just
like,
looks
it's
all
not.
fizzy.
I'm like, it's not a soda fountain.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's my bathroom sink.
Dude, free Perrier.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The shower doesn't do that, but only like my faucet head does that. I
Yeah.
don't know why, for some reason.
That's weird.
Like,
I mean, it could be the faucet head.
It might
Possibly.
be, but also I think somebody else's sink does it in the house too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
mean,
what it
I'm not
is.
gonna lie to you guys. I occasionally just wake up and I'm too lazy to go downstairs, so I'll just I'll go straight to the bathroom. and just drink
Dude, no disrespect. Like it's fine drinking out of the faucet. I'm just saying the water out of my faucet's bullshit.
Oh, Damn.
Like we're lucky in the United States. This is a first world country. Like you're not in Africa. You don't have the potential. Like you're not going to
No Ebola.
die from a pathogen or something like that. You know,
Mm.
we're spoiled in that way.
Sorry, I had to fix my mic stand.
But I'd be really stupid to avoid pools and jacuzzis and all those public places and then not take care of my shower with a filter. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
That's whatever. You know. I don't
It's
blame
just
you.
whatever.
Oh man.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's whatever, bro.
I kind of want to just like talk about something really, really important. And
What
it
is
has-
that?
It has a lot to do with anxiety and just stress.
Oh, I love this.
Is this
in general.
Yeah, we'll bring it up. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I went to a wedding last night, and I can say that I haven't had that much fun in like a very, 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 very long time.
This isn't how I thought a topic of
Yeah.
anxiety and depression was going to go.
I know.
To start out, but
He's
I'm
leading
curious. I
there.
want to see where this leads.
Sure. So, it just looking at everyone's like reactions to everything, and everyone's day was just going so well. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like everyone was just extremely happy and just completely in the moment.
Yeah.
And I can completely see that. And it's crazy because you know these individuals, including myself, for example, you guys go through a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to think about that shit, and it just kind of walks around with you like your fucking shadow. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's like a little black cloud that hangs over
Exactly.
you. It's like,
And seeing people just being extremely themselves for the first time was freaking amazing. Like I got the sense of like I did not think once about what I had to do today or tomorrow or next week or what happened last week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of very, very in there.
You got into a flow
in
state.
the goddamn moment, and it was just
He was in a flow state of having fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like it was just like all I really cared about was how my legs were moving, and like how I was bouncing up and down to the fucking music and shit. You know what I mean? And just like just hyping everybody up, and it was just the best time. And I feel like it's more of a realization that everything is in your head, and it's everything that you want to happen will kind of happen. I'm not talking about Jedi mind crap, but like, you know, it's just kind of like it's the process of how you start to think, which leads positivity. So like if you start with a positive thought, you know, start your day out with a positive thought. I was talking to Zayd about this the other day.
Yeah.
But if you start off positively and just be like, yeah, today's gonna go really well, and then bad things happen, you won't really fall into the pit of shit, you know, just depression and just getting overwhelmed over dumb crap, you know what I mean? And then you start to realize that everything around you is really small, and if you just enjoy the little moments, dude, you'll be living.
It's crazy because people don't realize this, but you can have a good day even if quote unquote bad things happen during that day.
Yeah.
It's a mindset. But people don't have control over their minds, their mentality. They don't think about the right things. They, linger on, or they focus on the things that they don't want. And then there's a reason why they keep getting those things, because they keep focusing on it.
Yeah.
When in reality, you can just shift your perspective to what you do want, and, good things will come from that.
Funny enough, that actually ties into like normal human behavior, weirdly enough.
How so?
We were talking about in one of my classes, like first impressions, for instance.
Yeah.
And how usually somebody's first impression of you is formed, unless they have prior information about you, is formed within the first, I believe it was like 30 to 45 seconds of talking to you. And if you do something negative in that time frame that's off-putting or whatever it is, you're gonna have to do 6 random acts of something that's, subverts their expectation, in order to change that negative opinion or negative mindset that the other person has of you.
That's very interesting.
So what I'm trying to say is negative things have a heavier impact on people, because that's what they tend to latch on to. So like you said, if somebody, it's like you said, the mindset, if somebody had a really great day, but one shitty thing happens, usually people are going to latch onto that shitty thing.
And I understand it, because think about it, historically speaking, like focusing on the negative things allows you to have more of a chance to survive in really dire circumstances. It's all about survival. So negative, that's why the news always focuses on bad shit. Negative headlines attract more eyes, attract more attention. They get more money from that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, I hate to say this, the news nowadays is different than news back in like the 70s and stuff, like as the 70s and transitioning into the 80s, but more in the 70s.
Dude,
like
news today is so exhausting.
Like, news used to be an honorable, I know this is really fucked up to say, and like I know it sounds like I'm talking shit on like reporters and people that are out there trying to get the scoop and whatnot. Like I have no disrespect for most reporters. There's some that obviously are doing not great things, but what I'm trying to say is back in the earlier days, like being a reporter or being a writer for a journal or a newspaper or something like that was a much more honorable profession. I feel like you were definitely more oriented towards getting the truth out there rather than just getting a headline that will be posted on fucking Facebook, and then people will yell about it for a day or two, and then they'll forget all about it.
Dude, that's so true. I think it's the one major problem that divides this country, actually. Because we're so latched onto our devices, our phones, our tablets, our TVs. Yeah. And then we think reality is a certain way because we're being fed this certain information from people who have special interests, when in reality, it's not that way. Mm-hmm. Like the world, everyone tells you the world is going to shit, but is it actually? No, there are certain things that are definitely going on. I will not deny that. But in reality, it's a lot more complicated. Good comes with bad, bad comes with good. Yeah.
I think that's very true. I mean, you see that in your personal lives too, probably.
Yeah, I
mean, it's always balanced, kind of.
Yeah, and even the bad is good. Yeah. Because your worst experiences, you've learned the most from them, you've grown the most.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the classic yin and yang shit, you know? Yin yang.
Ah, Mr. Alan Watts.
I love how some,
Mr. L.
I love how some of the oldest ideologies are some of the most true. Like, they have the most validity to them.
100%.
Like yin and yang. How long has that, like, the concept of that, how long has that even been around?
I don't know where it originated from.
Probably since before, like, in the BC era, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
During all the Chinese dynasties when they were coming out.
It's when all the philosophers were coming out too.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm not saying, I don't think Confucius made yin and yang, but
I
like,
don't know. Aristotle.
but there's a balance, you know. The positive comes with the negative, as you just said. And I'm just reiterating what you said. Sophocles.
Soft testes.
I think it was the fifth god, dude. Oh.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, a lot of books are basically regurgitation of old shit when you think about it.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, point is, like, if you live your life, understand that good comes with bad, bad comes with good.
Yeah.
Don't stress too much, vibe, do your thing, enjoy life.
It really is. Yeah. And I mean, if you tell yourself you have anxiety, I think that's just worse for your anxiety.
Well, I think there's a difference between telling yourself you have anxiety and then facing the fact that you have anxiety.
Yeah, I mean,
because you can tell yourself all day long you have anxiety. Like, I know plenty of people that do that, but it doesn't help their problem. Like you just said, for instance, like, it makes, if anything, it kind of makes it worse.
yeah, but imagine thinking to yourself, like, you're just like, oh God, I'm anxious. You know what I mean?
And
like,
then,
You identify with it.
Yeah, you identify it, but then there's that form of acceptance that's not there. You know what I mean?
they're missing the vital question of why. Why am I anxious?
Yeah.
Why am I acting like this? And then there's the people that will just jump to, they're like, well, obviously it's this and that. And like, okay, well, how do we deal with that? Like, what's the proper approach as to what we need to do in order to move forward so you're not bouncing off the
So
fucking wall?
you're saying there's a missing form of dissection.
Yes. It's the missing form of introspection.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
You become solution-oriented as opposed to problem-oriented.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
introspection a word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Introspection.
Less dwelling, more solution.
Exactly.
More problem
And a lot of anxiety, depression is a more murky topic, but I'd like to focus on anxiety right now. It's a lot of it is lifestyle created. You just don't go to bed on time. You don't eat the right foods. You eat the wrong foods. You don't have good relationships.
Yeah, I like how you said a lot of it. It's not all of it.
Yeah, it's like, because it's, you have to think about this in a nuanced way. This is a gray world. You can't think about this world from a black and white perspective only.
Yeah. I mean, one tactic I used was basically not caring.
How so?
You know what I mean? So I stopped caring about a majority of things in my life and just kind of go with the flow. Right?
So you're like detaching yourself.
I have no expectations for anything. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm just kind of there. You know what I mean? I'm very mono.
It's a good way to be in the moment.
Yeah. And then that kind of fixes you later,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Because then you start to see big, huge problems as like easy fixable things. You know? And obviously the more shit you go through, the more you're, you know, willing to just go through with it and just take it head on.
An interesting point to your wedding experience, or not your wedding, of course,
Yeah,
but the wedding you went to yesterday. It's
Yeah.
environment plays a big role too.
Yeah.
The people who you surround yourself with.
Exactly. Because seeing other people happy makes you happy.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say something along those lines, or that actually will tie into what you're talking about. And that, I think one of the best ways to avoid anxiety is to prepare yourself in order to not have any, or at least to try to minimize or reduce it. So to think ahead, for instance, where you're like, okay, let's just start with, because you said marriage, so let's take the next logical bound, family, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about having kids. I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing that. And it's like, I don't have the money for that. Maybe you should just wait off a little bit. Try to save up some money so you can get to a point where you're like, okay, if I work consistently at this current job I have with the money I've saved, like, the kids will be fine until they get to college or whatever. And then you could have the kids work and get money for junior college or community college or whatever it is. You know, reduce the anxiety. Take the initiative to step out of yourself, look at the situation and say, okay, I don't want to worry about this. In this case, the stressor is going to be money and providing for the family primarily. It's like, there's things I can do to avoid this. And the first step is to not rush it. So why rush it?
Yeah.
Take the time to think it out.
Why are you in a rush? What are you trying to get?
Take it as it is and just like play with time. It's
exactly.
Cool. But I like that you said like step outside of your own perspective. And
that's the most important part.
Because I tend to do that a lot, where I don't really I step out further and I start looking at other people. I'm like, I wonder what other people are going through. You know
exactly.
what I mean? I'm probably not even facing like a quarter of some other person on this earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, okay, makes me feel a little bit better. There you go. Now you got emotions set. You know what I mean? So you're just at the end of the day, it's all in your head, which is insane. Your head can fuck with your body.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Without a doubt.
I'm a prime example of that.
Yeah.
I lose weight drastically because I'll just stop eating.
Yeah.
And like I'll stop doing things like that you should be doing on a normal day. Like I'll forget to drink. Like I'll stop drinking water just because I'm like so worried.
And a bad appetite is not just with sadness, dude. It's with happiness too. You could be so happy that you feel hungry, but you just don't feel like eating.
Exactly.
You can't separate mind, body, and spirit. You can't.
Yeah.
It all comes in one package.
Fucking insane to me, dude. That's crazy stuff. Ooh, I think we should switch that topic, dude. I'm getting off.
I love that. I love discussing
I like stuff like that.
all kinds of stuff like that.
That's why it's the 2 a.m. podcast, not the,
hell yeah,
not the first date podcast.
Oh my god.
Speaking of first dates, have you guys ever had like a really, really bad first date? Like where it just went horribly, like you didn't really...
Good question.
Ooh, shoot. Horribly wrong. I need to think about that, yeah.
I mean, I can go first if you want.
Yeah,
me to.
please.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I like met this one girl, got her phone number. We were talking for a little bit, and then we go out and we just go get something to eat. Where it's like getting to know the person better. It's not really a date per se. It's more of just like, hey, I'm gonna scope out this other person and make sure they're not a total fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
But when we go on our first date, you know, it was one of those.
Yeah.
And we got there, and just all the like happy, fun, light conversations we were having before, like when we met up in person, started talking, she like just got really quiet for the majority of it and like really uncomfortable. And I'm like, what? I'm like, where was that other person I was talking to? Like the person I was texting, or the person that I was talking to at like where I met them at. I'm like, where did you go? Like I don't know if I'm about this person. Like they weren't weird at all. Like they were very nice girl. Like nothing to complain about other than the fact that she just went like dead silent on me. And then I got very, I don't know, I felt like I was getting very negative vibes from her. So
Was she into it, or was it just like a shitty personality / I don't know how to be social with other people?
The majority of it kind of felt like she was trying to find a way to get the fuck out of there. Like even when she first got there.
Yeah.
Which in my experience, I'm like, why don't you just not go? Or you can honestly, like, this is something that people need to be okay with, because we're adults now, and you know, this is a more modern era. We can talk to each other, not like it's a fucking 90s instructional video on how to communicate properly. Have you seen that? Where it's like it'll be like a dude and a chick sitting together, and he's like, oh, hey Becky, you look great today, and she's like, oh, thanks, I don't like you, goodbye.
Yeah.
Like straight up, I love videos like that. It's like so uncomfortable.
You'll feel really shitty for like 2 minutes, but then you'll be like, okay, at least she was straight up.
Yeah, just or what I'm trying to say is you don't need to be like that, but you could just say to the person, hey, I'm sorry, like either I'm not feeling this, or at the very worst, you could just say, hey, you know what, I just need to go. Like I just need to leave. Like something came up or whatever, and I just need to go right now.
Yeah. Or if you're dealing with a complete cunt, you order food, you say you're going to the restroom, and you just fucking leave.
Or you just don't order the food so the person doesn't get charged, and you just say honestly, like, hey.
Well, if they're being a complete cunt, I mean.
Dude, Zayd's getting pissed, bro. We found it, boys. We figured it out.
We found it. Oh, God. I mean, that's always an option, but most people won't take it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to feel like assholes, but, you know, I'm cold in that respect sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to play the asshole, right? But I just can't do that.
Yeah.
I just can't. Like, I'm way too nice, but in a very aggressive way, if that makes sense.
Way too nice in a very aggressive way.
Yes, I will guide you and lead you, but I'm also a gentleman. There you go.
He's
Great movie, by the
basically
way.
what he's trying to say is he's not the one to shower you with kindness. He's the one to kill you with kindness.
Exactly.
I get
I'm gonna
that.
fucking stab you to death with kindness.
With this freaking
Take these fucking hugs and kisses.
Shank, shank. Yeah.
sharpening his shiv right
But-
now.
Literally.
To answer your question, any bad dates? I don't think. I mean, I've had people flake on me. If you'd consider that a bad date,
No.
didn't even happen.
That's not a date. That's just you getting ghosted.
Yeah. No, mostly just nerve-wracking moments in the beginning, and then other than that,
Yeah.
go about your business.
Like, I'm gonna be real. In my mind, at least from my perspective, maybe from the girl's perspective, they went horribly. That was the only one that I had where it didn't really necessarily, in my opinion, go bad. It just wasn't great.
Yeah.
You know, like, it wasn't a disaster. It wasn't horrible. It was just like we parted ways and that was it.
Just mediocre.
It was just
Okay.
meh.
I think I found my story.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like Logan's. It wasn't really a date. It was more like a quick, hey, let's see your face. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. It's one of those.
Yeah. Well, it goes both ways. I'm not just talking about her, but she wanted to see me too. Anyway, we get to this cafe, and we sit down, and then obviously, you know, we've been texting for like a couple days, and she reveals that she's actually not 27, she's 32. And I'm like, okay. And then she says that this has to be quick because she works 7 days a week, and she only has like 10 to 11 p.m. because she's a lawyer and she's working like 17-hour days and shit.
And she wanted to date?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. She didn't want to date anymore. She was just like, I only have 1 hour. Wink. Hint.
It was one
was
of
one of those,
those.
dude. Yes.
I'm picking up what you're
Yes.
putting down over there.
Yeah, dude. And then, you know, on her Instagram, she seemed pretty tall. She wasn't.
How tall was she?
She was like probably 4'11".
Was she a catfish?
How did you think she was tall? She's 4'11". Did she not take a picture with anybody else?
Dude, you've seen those like wide-angled freaking...
Was she only taking pictures with little people, so she looked like a giant?
Maybe, dude.
Probably.
I don't know, but it was very deceiving. It was like a mild catfish. You know what I mean? But like she was as bomb as she seemed.
So she was
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, she was. But then I was just like, nah, I'm more of a serious guy. Like I don't.
Like, you don't wanna play games.
I don't want to play games because the way I think about it is like if I get into an actual relationship later, I don't want that to be on my history mark, where I'm just like, yeah, I did that in a part of my life.
I
that
can
make
see
sense?
that. Yeah,
don't
I can
blame
see
you.
that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm just I'm a very open book person, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, why do things that I wouldn't do, you know, just to fit the trend, or
I
just
don't know.
Reputation
You could
matters.
also
someone
just say
else's.
you didn't want to
It's
do
not my
it.
lifestyle. There you go.
Yeah. you just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Exactly. So I told her I'd call her, and I never did. So I kind of reversed it. Thank you for lying. You know.
Put down the reverse card.
Thank you for lying, dude. Yeah.
He basically pulled a more subtle version of what I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Get that double Uno, bro. Yeah, dude. Interesting. Dates are always fun, right?
The medjool dates are always fun.
Medjool dates.
By the way, that's for anybody that doesn't know. That's an actual date company, like the fruit dates.
Bomb ass company. Oh, man.
Saeed did a little photo shoot for him the other day.
Yeah, dude. I did their manufacturing video too.
Great
was
video,
cool.
by the way.
Crazy. Thank you.
Great
you very
video.
much.
Yeah, cool little video. I liked it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you probably enjoyed the music. It was very jazzy blue style.
Speaking of music, I actually just put a little ditty.
Oh, yeah.
out
Ooh, give a
today.
shout out, give a shout out.
Congratulations.
Yeah, sorry, I
actually.
just had to say that really
You just
quick.
released
Congrats,
his first
broski.
single, Waves.
Yeah,
It's on-
Waves.
Is it on Spotify?
It's on Spotify, and
Oh,
it should also be on Apple Music and pretty much every other major
For sure.
streaming
Keep a
platform.
lookout on the Instagram. We'll post it on there.
Oh yeah,
Little sample, dude.
Of course.
When it came out, I listened to it on repeat like 13 times.
Yes.
It's a very good track.
Thank you. You
Yeah,
want to know
man.
the coolest part about posting it so far? And
What?
this is gonna sound very like vainglorious,
Don't worry about it.
but like
Bask in it.
this has just never happened to me before, so this is why it's fun to say. And it's on a very small scale. But like you know, on Instagram, people can post like if you post something on your story, people can like repost it to their story or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like a little link to whatever you posted. I got like, I think I'm at like 4 story reposts right now from from some people I know like very well. One of the people was, and then like a couple of the others were people I just did not, or like I don't know very well. Like I'm friendly, you know, like we're all very nice to each other and stuff like that whenever I see them. But like it was like people like I said, I wasn't very familiar with, and it was just cool to kind of see people where it's like, yeah, they like it, they jam with it.
That's why I tell people
they want all their friends to listen to it. I'm like, that feels good.
That's why I tell people to just put your content out.
Yeah.
Stop giving a fuck what other people think.
Unless it's like, I can't say that.
Oh God.
But it's like on one hand you have to care about what your audience thinks. On another, you don't. Like, you can't. Because then that takes away from the creative side.
I was just gonna say, like, depending on what kind of content it is.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah, be careful. I mean, if you're making like Nazi modern Nazi chants for YouTube, like, I think you're a piece of shit and you probably shouldn't be uploading. But like,
come on, listeners, you should be smart enough to understand.
I know, but I like, you know me, I like clarification.
Clarification is always good. You can never go wrong with it.
Yeah. Fuck Nazis. That's the full clarification. Fuck them.
Wow, that was harsh.
I know. Also, what a.
Now, was that angry Logan or pissed off Logan?
What a stand right there.
You officially have 5 story reposts. Oh. Thanks to me, you know.
I actually gave you
no,
one
but it's
earlier.
A dope-ass track.
No. Oh, I thought you said a dumbass track.
No, it's a dope
like,
ass track. It's a dumbass track, dude. Dude, what the fuck? Unsubscribe, dude.
Unfollow on Spotify. Yeah, find it at on Spotify though. Logan Quinn.
Yes.
Waves.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I have a question. I don't know if you want to reveal this. Why did you put Quinn as your last name?
It's easier to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Like the more I'm into media, the more I understand like stage names and things like that, just to simplify things. But yeah, that's down.
Like usually, like it's gonna be pretty hard for most people to fuck up Logan.
Yeah.
Like
Logan.
Yeah, that's usually the worst that it's gonna be. But like to say my last name properly it's a mouthful, and like even trying to explain it to people sometimes they don't like 100% get it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have like a very ethnic, like hard to pronounce last name. It's not the most complicated thing in the planet.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you can read it, just say it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I chose Quinn. It's a lot easier to say.
Don't worry about the person in front of you. By the way, I hate douchebags that are like, it's not Quentin, it's Quentin. Okay.
Quentin.
Like, okay, relax. How the fuck am I supposed to know that? I just read it.
Relax, Your Highness. You know Jesus.
Just correct me politely. That's fine.
It's Quentin with an I-E-N at the end.
What the hell is going on?
That'd be E-I-N. Quentin.
Yeah.
There have been so many times when I've let you know my name. I've let it slide. Like they fucked up my name. I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
It's not Orange. It's Orange, dude. So get your facts.
Well, when people, like, for example, when we got Cha, which is like this little boba place, we got that the other night, and they said your name so wrong.
What did they say?
They said they said
Zaid.
Yeah, they said we have an order for, and like I get that everybody's trying to be like politically correct and shit. You know, I don't blame them. You know, they're trying their best.
From now on,
Zaid.
Yeah, that's actually
order for
Zaid.
From now on, I'm just gonna say Z. If you fuck that up, I'm never going back to that business again.
All right, B.
Never.
I gotta take out for B. Get the fuck this Starbucks. I'm never coming back.
Dude, Zaid's pissed. Dude. No, but for real, I think they switch our names. Usually, like they call me Said. And then they call you
That's
Zaid.
so true.
It's so true. Dude, Siri's racist as fuck. They always think I'm trying to call you when I say it out loud.
God damn, dude. The hell's going on here?
I'm like, okay, please call I don't have your last name on there, Zaid, so it's just Zaid. That's it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, call Zaid, and then it says calling Said, and then it says Said Asher.
Asher. It's Asher.
It's actually Ashore.
And then before I used to have to pronounce Zaid as Zaid. And if I didn't add the Aid on it, in that exact inflection, it wouldn't be able to pick it up.
Dude, I wonder if you can like correct her in settings.
Dude, I tried to. I was like, Siri, Zaid's contact is actually pronounced Zaid. And it's like, sorry, I don't have a function for that. And I'm like, how do you not have a function for that?
She's just not smart enough right now.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a computer learning like program.
Dude.
It gets better by you speaking to it.
Yeah,
Clearly
honestly,
it doesn't learn.
I think Alexa's better than Siri, to be honest.
It might. I haven't used Alexa. I
think it
really
is.
know.
Alexa like listens to dumb shit sometimes.
I've heard the Google Assistant is actually the best one.
Really?
Yeah, it's good
like
too.
for
Yeah,
on
that makes
the
sense.
on all the no, Samsung has their own thing. Like on all the Pixels
Yeah.
and whatnot. Like that's the
That's the one to
creme
go
de
to.
la creme
Ooh.
of AI assistants.
It's the lasagna of assistants.
Dude, how long do you think it's gonna be before? Have either of you seen the movie Her?
Hell to the fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, you have.
With the Joker guy, what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah.
Joaquin.
I haven't seen it. No.
Whacking.
Whacking Phoenix.
Whacking Phoenix.
Whacking.
Whacking Phonics.
Yeah, what about it?
Sorry. How long do you think it's going to be before we get like AI in our phones that's like the level that it was on Her? So let me fill you
describe,
in really
please.
quick. So in the movie Her, basically there's a new AI software that comes out, and in the beginning their AI assistant sounds a lot like a Siri, like a much more intelligent Siri, but the Siri nonetheless, for instance. And then they switch to this new form, like this new iOS update, and instead of it sounding like a Siri, it's like exactly like a person talking to you on the other end.
Yeah, it's just a very natural voice. Like
Yeah.
Indistinguishable.
Yeah, instead of "Hey Zaid," it's just more like "Hey Zaid."
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but just imagine Scarlett Johansson's voice saying, "Hey, Zaid."
Yeah.
So how long is it going to take before we get to that point?
How long do you think before we get to a point where it feels like a other person's on the line?
I would say 10 years.
I'd say 10 to 15.
I agree. I think that's a reasonable time.
Yeah,
frame,
because
right?
I think before voice and stuff, they're probably going to work on more of how the algorithm works, the conversation, things like that, and how it queues up to be more on command, I guess.
I think the hardest part of that is creating a voice that will be able to respond in a way that doesn't sound robotic.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're going to have to create essentially like an entirely artificial vocal cord.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it would sound weird enough that you're going to have to build a brain, like, for an AI.
but
sorry.
here's the thing, though. Did you guys know that Siri is actually recorded by a real woman?
Yeah.
Which is, like, it still sounds kind of robotic, doesn't it?
Because they have to chop up all the words that she said. Like, they
Yeah.
probably have a pre-programmed bank
Yeah.
as to what she can say. And then maybe even from there, if they really got crazy with it, they recorded, like, individual syllables with different inflections on them so that they could piece it together and it forms words.
Yeah.
But, which is, I think, how they, like, the original text-to-speech, like, the robotic stuff works. But, like, how long do you think it's going to be? Well, we already did the 10 to 15
Well,
you're saying.
dude, I've already come across a couple companies. I forget which ones that I've called on the phone. I was sent straight to voicemail, but they had an automated system that sounded exactly like a real person until like 45 seconds in, where I realized, oh, this is actually an AI system.
Yeah, those ones
Wow.
freak me out the
So
most.
so they're closer than you think.
Yeah. But I mean, like, in terms of it creates its own thoughts as a reaction to what you say rather than it being pre-programmed.
Yeah.
According to Elon Musk, it's 1 year. So
According to Elon Musk, everything is 1 year
That
away.
dude's trying to put a freaking chip in your brain
Dude.
to connect it. What is it even for? Did he even specify?
I don't know.
Is it to connect you to the internet,
Imagine.
or is it
It's just an
for-
internal Fitbit?
I think I think it is to connect you to the internet.
Yeah, but like, how are they even gonna like make a platform for that?
I don't know. Are they gonna like set neurons to this thing, and then just like your thought just becomes a freaking hologram in your mind?
I'm trying to think of it as like maybe they take your brain as a processing center. So
Yeah.
like essentially it's like your brain would be a server room.
Yeah.
And then from there they connect you to a large like cloud network of like a virtual space that like builds an entirely new AI body for you that's like real, that feels real because it's your brain and you get all those sensations, but since it's in a virtual world it isn't real.
How the fuck are we? Isn't it crazy that we're at this point where we're talking about this? Like it's really going to happen. It's some magic shit.
Like, try explaining that to a scientist in like the 50s. They would think you're insane.
Straight up.
For starters, I don't think they would really know what a computer is.
Yeah.
Like, at least as what we know them today, like they'd have the really dumbed down versions that they had back in the day, where it was like like an iPhone that came out in 2008 had more computing power than the original freaking which satellite was it that was taking pictures? Is it
Hubble?
yeah, than the Hubble telescope, excuse me. Like,
It's like we're at a point in history where fiction is becoming real.
It's a brave new world that we're walking.
I mean,
into,
we
for
already have
sure.
rockets that can land themselves thanks to Elon Musk and SpaceX. Shout out. But like, it's just hard to keep up with. It's hard to conceive.
Am I the only one that gets like a little emotional when you see that video of the rocket taking off and then landing in the same exact spot?
Of course. It's a testament to human engineering and
Seriously,
and creativity.
it's really pushing the limit of like what we can do.
Wait, didn't they have 3 that came at the same time, or was it 2?
I think the only video that I remember was 1, but they did more testing after that for sure. It was probably like 2 or 3, realistically. 1. All right. Well, yeah. I don't know. There's just there's a big frontier that we're about to walk into and like open the door to. Especially once we get better batteries, I genuinely think technology is just going to skyrocket up.
Yeah, I remember we had a huge conversation on that.
Yeah, once we get more efficient batteries and stuff like that in there.
Because you were saying they were going to be slimmer and just way more lifetime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
can't
could
wait
have,
for that.
Like for your AirPods could have like, depending on how much you use them, like theoretically.
Yeah,
a
imagine
week of
laptops,
usage.
dude. Laptops, everything you
Laptops
ever
would be
wanted.
insane.
Bro, with that amount of like processor power, dude.
What's also crazy is you could theoretically have a desktop PC
Yeah.
that's completely like it doesn't need to be powered into the wall.
Yeah.
A creative dream.
Like I have laptops that are basically like they're desktops.
Yeah.
But the only problem is you launch one like high capacity software, it's done. 20 minutes max.
Toasted.
Yeah. So batteries really need work.
They
But
do. Well, they're around the corner.
They're around the corner.
I think in the
believe
next
that.
2 to 5 years, there'll probably be a really big jump in 'em.
Yeah.
We talked about that on the previous
Exciting
podcast.
times coming up, especially
Yes,
for
yes,
the 2 AM
yes.
podcast.
Especially for the 2 AM podcast.
Especially.
What it do, baby?
Yeah, but well, you know, we're focusing on getting the studio all set up.
Yeah. We spent what, 12 hours?
Yeah, painting.
Was it actually 12 hours painting this place?
Well, I think it was 12 hours total. It wasn't really painting. It was just getting the stuff, all that stuff. It was
Yeah.
pretty much 12 hours.
And eating.
But it's
insane.
going to come out looking very nice. It's already very nice right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
very,
It's
very.
gonna look even nicer
much
in just a
different.
little bit of period of time.
For sure. Soon enough, we're going to start having guests on here.
Oh, that's what
Yeah.
I'm excited
Yes,
for.
Exciting
absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah, that's also when we get our guests. That's when we're gonna make the switch to video. You can find that on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? I just wanted to say, once again, as always, thanks for joining us for this podcast, everybody. Really appreciate it. Have a lot of fun. You know, you can find us at Spotify. Are we on Apple Podcasts
we're
as
on
well?
Apple
Apple
Podcasts.
Podcasts.
All the main
Castbox.
platforms.
All the main platforms, yeah.
Yeah.
Castbox started on Anchor.fm. Soon to be on YouTube, coming around the corner. And
Yep.
this has been Logan.
This has been Zaid.
And this has been Saeed.
Thanks for signing in, everybody. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Peace.
Adios.